You weighed yourself this morning and the scale was up 3.
If the number on the scale jumped overnight.
Have you started a weight loss journey recently and then you've suddenly stepped on the scale?
Bestie, have you ever stepped on the scale expecting good news, only to see the number goes up? Maybe we've been eating healthy, walking every day, and doing everything right. Then suddenly the scale says you're 3 pounds heavier. So I'll put the videos together so that you watch and learn. I'll be back, share my truth.
You weighed yourself this morning and the scale was up 3 pounds and you're ready to crash out. I'm about to explain to you why that actually happens. First off, you did not gain 3 actual pounds of fat overnight. That's almost impossible. That's like over 10,000 calories above your actual maintenance that you would have to eat. Now, what you probably actually gained overnight is water weight. That comes from things like sodium intake, the amount of carbs you had, or the amount of water you'd had the day before. Your body weight is always going to fluctuate throughout the week. This is nothing to go into a panic about. This is literally just human physiology. That's it. So what I actually tell every client of mine is to just focus on your weekly average of your weight and not just by one day. If you do that, you'll never be worried about the scale going up 3 to 5 pounds overnight.
Have you started a weight loss journey recently and then you've suddenly stepped on the scales and you've gained 5 pounds overnight, or you've magically gained a stone in a month like me? Well, if that's you, let's talk about it. Quick recap if you don't already know, since January 2018, I've lost a total of 7 stone. I was 18 stone 2, and in September I was 10 stone 13. So as I say, I've not weighed since September, and I jumped on the scales at lunchtime today, and I'm 11 stone 13. Does that mean I've gained a stone's worth of fat since the 15th of September? Absolutely not. And if you've also stepped on the scales and you've suddenly gained weight in the last week, the last fortnight, or overnight, you've not just gained that amount in fat, okay? And I'm going to tell you why. First and foremost, in my personal opinion, the scales did belong in the bin. I will start to weigh myself for the purpose of just tracking progress and to show this to you guys, but please do not rely on that scale number to give you happiness. Like, there are so many ways to track your progress, take measurements, take photographs, but that number literally means nothing. There are so many contributing factors as to why that number goes up and down, and it'll go up and down through the day as well. Number 1, think about what you're doing, right? If you're going to weigh yourself, do it first thing on the morning. I do it with not a stitch on, so I'm naked, after I've been to the toilet. If you're starting to weigh yourself through the day, the food that you eat and the liquids that you take in, they all weigh something. Did anyone watch that film or the programme, You Are What You Eat, and you'd put all your food and your liquid into a container and you can literally see it? If you put that on a scale, it's going to weigh something. So if you've been eating and drinking all day, that's inside you. Don't get me wrong, yes, it digests, but still, you're carrying additional weight. It's not fat. So that's number 1. Number 2, when was the last time you had a shit? Are you constipated? If you're constipated, that also weighs something. For me, really normal to not go to the toilet for a few days. It is what it is. I'm sorry with TMI, but it's realistic. So if you're literally full of shit, that also weighs something. So do you know what? Maybe you just need a big poo. You've not actually gained 5 pounds. You've just had a heavy weekend and now you need a massive shit and you need to rehydrate. That's another number. So that's 2. Number 3, you're dehydrated. I recently started going back to the gym. My water has been horrendous. Honestly, my way is probably bright yellow. So today I've gone heavy on it and I had 2 litres of water by the time 12 o'clock came around. And then I was stupid enough to jump on the scales. Obviously that liquid is going to contribute to the fact that the scales have gone up. So yeah, you're dehydrated. Number 4, exercise. In the last 2 weeks, I have had 3 PT sessions and I've gone back to the gym. My body is in bits. It's thinking, Steph, what the fuck are you doing? That also affects the scale weight. I'm not really sure on the scientific part of it, but it's something to do with like your muscles repairing and they hold on to water. So then I'm holding on to my water weight, and then because I'm not drinking enough water, I'm not flushing it out my system. So that also has a knock-on effect, okay? Your body's inflamed and it does a thing to like repair itself. I don't know. Is that 4 reasons? 5 reasons. The next one, women, hormones. I'm due on my period. I don't know the scientific method behind this, but when your hormones change, I know like if you stress like I have been because I've done a house move, cortisol levels go up. If your hormones are fluctuating, it does something to your body, right? And then that's also going to make the scales go up or go down or go up or go down. Like, you haven't actually just suddenly gained weight. And even when it is time of the month, your appetite's going to increase because your body's working harder, so you're naturally going to eat more. So don't beat yourself up about it, just make healthier changes. But all of these things, the food and liquid that's inside of us, the fact that maybe we haven't had a poo, maybe we're a little bit dehydrated, maybe we've been more active than normal. These things contribute to your weight. And then depending on what kind of food you're eating, if you're having heavy takeaways and you're having processed foods and they're high in salt and they're high in sodium, again, that's going to make you gain weight on the scales, not literal fat. For you to gain 5 pounds of fat overnight, you're going to have to eat like a hefty, I don't know, starving scabby donkey somewhere. Like, do you know what I mean? You haven't gained all that. And I know for a fact I haven't gained a stone since the middle of September because none of my clothes would fit. Like, the number means nothing, right? So if you've stepped on the scale today and it's not told you what you wanted to, just ignore it. Pick a day, weigh yourself at the same day at the same time every single week, track it over a period of time. But you know, if you're saying like, I really want to lose a pound a week, to lose a pound of fat a week is amazing, but you'd have to lose like 0 point something of a pound every single day. And unfortunately, that's not going to show up on the scales because one, you're eating, you're drinking, you're dehydrated, maybe you've not had a poo, so you're never going to see it going down gradually like this. It's like a roller coaster. So I've apparently gained a stone. I definitely haven't gained a stone. And yeah, just don't rely on the scales. Take measurements, take photographs. I'm now going to track my progress every single day again because I'm back on the horse. And do I feel guilty about having time off and having gained a bit of weight? No, because that's life. And if you're trying to lose weight, I've said this so many times, don't just say, I'm giving myself 30 days. It's lessons that you learn to last your lifetime. Like, your weight is always going to fluctuate. There's always going to be an event. There's always going to be Christmas. Someone's going to be getting married. Someone's going to a christening. You're going to have a takeaway. You're going to go out with the girls. There's always going to be something that's going to hinder your progress, especially if you're just relying on that number on the scales. So get yourself out of this misery little hole that you've got yourself in and just crack on with it. If you made it this far, thanks for listening.
Raise your hand if you hopped on the scale this morning and you were shocked to see that it went up 2 pounds overnight. I know this probably happened to a lot of you this morning, but what I need you to understand is that it is not fat. Your girl wants to get a little geeky so you can understand this from a logical perspective. For you to have gained 2 pounds overnight, you would have to have eaten 7,000 calories above and beyond your maintenance calories. So girlfriend, unless you're taking down Little Chinatown's buffet, it's not happening. So I want to chat about the top 5 reasons that the scale goes up that has absolutely nothing to do with you gaining fat. Let me call out the elephant in the room here. At the end of the day, if you continue to allow the scale to control all of your actions, you will continue to stay stuck. And let's be honest, that sucks. So you're going to want to make sure that you smash that save button to reference back to this the next time the scale has a complete and total chokehold on you. Reason number 1 that the scale goes up. Maybe you ate out last night and that food has a little extra sodium in it and you're holding on to water. Again, not fat. Reason number 2 that the scale goes up. Maybe you ate a little bit later than you normally would last night and your stomach still has undigested food in it. Undigested food means food still sitting in your belly. Again, not fat. Reason number 3 that the scale goes up. And let's be real, 98.999% of you struggle with this. You're stressed AF and your sleep absolutely sucks, which means you're driving that cortisol up. You're bloated, you're puffy, you're holding onto some water, but again, not fat. Side note, pro tip for you, if you could get your sleep and stress management in check, you would probably drop 5 pounds of bloat this month. You can come back and thank me later. Reason number 4 that the scale goes up, and I really hope that this is the case, but maybe you had a crazy good booty day, which means that your muscles are slightly inflamed. You're holding on to water, but again, not fat. Girl, I jump up 3 pounds on the scale every single time I train legs. When you're training hard and you're training with intent, totally normal. Reason number 5 that the scale goes up that has absolutely nothing to do with fat, I would be willing to bet your digestion sucks, which means you probably need to poo. You're bloated, you're uncomfortable, but yet again, not fat. And this should go without saying, but I'm gonna throw it in as reason number 6. But girlfriend, maybe it's that time of month. Again, not fat. So if you're one of those that goes into complete and total restriction mode every single time the scale goes up, how much less food can I eat today? How much more can I drive my body into the ground with excessive amounts of cardio? I'm gonna really encourage you to look at this from a space of logic, not emotion. Because let's get real, when we're talking fat loss, logic is going to trump emotion any day of the week. And I get it's frustrating AF, but there is a massive difference between weight gain and fat gain. And having helped thousands of women now build their dream bodies, the number one thing we work on right out of the gate is mastering the control the scale has on them. Because at the end of the day, lady, you are not chasing a number, you are chasing a look. And I can guarantee you that look weighs a ton more than you ever think that it does. And as always, if you guys find these tips helpful, go ahead and smash the follow button for me for your no BS approach on how to get it off and actually keep it off.
If the number on the scale jumped overnight, it's not fat gain. Let me explain. Here's what could actually be going on. A carby or salty meal simply means more water stored. Strength training causes your muscles to hold more water as they recover. Your cycle and hormones and not drinking enough water can cause water retention. And stress and poor sleep can shift your weight overnight. So, track your progress through your strength and energy, how your clothes fit, and your photos. Remember, the scale reflects so much more than just fat loss. So stop letting this one number define your journey and send this to someone who needs a reminder today.
The next time the scale goes up overnight, don't freak out.
The video besties, I'm just here just to add on like what I think about today's video. So we're talking about you gaining 3 pounds overnight is almost never fat. Okay, to gain 3 pounds of body fat, you would have to eat around 10,500 extra calories above what your body needs. Most people simply don't do that in one day. So what happens? The first reason is water weight. If you had a salt meal, your body holds on to more water. The extra water shows up on the scale, but it's not fat. The second reason is carbs. Carbohydrates store water in your muscles and liver. Eat more bread, rice, pasta, or even fruits. That's unusual. Your body could be holding extra water. The third reason is hormones. Many people notice weight changes during different times of the month. Hormones can cause body to retain water, making the scale go up for a few days. Another reason is simply having more food in your stomach. If you weigh yourself after a big dinner or before going to the bathroom, the number can easily be higher than normal. This is why weighing yourself every single day can sometimes play tricks on your mind. The important thing is the overall trend over weeks and months, not one random number. So what do you do if the scale goes up by 3 pounds? First, don't panic. Second, don't punish yourself by starving or doing hours of cardio. Instead, keep eating healthy, drink plenty of water, get enough sleep and stay active. Most of the time, the extra weight disappears within a few days. Remember, your journey is about becoming healthy, not chasing a perfect number every month. Success does not come from one egg way in. It comes from showing up every day, even when the scale does not tell the story you want to. So if your scale went up today, don't quit. Keep going, bestie. Your body is changing, even if the scale doesn't show it up. Trust the processes, stay consistency, and let time do it for you. One bad way in does not erase weeks of progress. Keep moving forward because the only way you truly fail is by giving up. So thank you for watching. Bye.